All right, what's up everyone? I'm out here in the wash bay on a Tuesday. I've lost track of the days. Tuesday morning. And it's about, I don't know, 9:30 in the morning, something like that. Got up, messed with some email and all of that stuff. And I'm in the throes of figuring out what to do with hiring a contractor. It's so much more money than I want to spend to get the other building set up. But anyway, we're gonna wash a Civic here today. Civic needs washed. M3 is pretty clean. I'm gonna drive the M3, so I'll have to wash it because I want to see how the can coat stuff does. But maybe I'll do that tonight or tomorrow. Soon I'll do the first wash of the GT3 with Halo, S-Tech, Dynashield. I just got the car back from Billy last week. But the Civic needs cleaned. The wheels that are on it right now are the TEs, the 15-inch. Yeah, I don't know, we'll talk about wheels and all that stuff, but I'm not really in love with it right now. But anyway, let's get set up. I got another new thing. Seems like every video I make, I've got some crazy new product that I've got to figure out or try out. So I haven't even stuck this in here yet, but this is, I don't know what these are gonna cost, but this, as of right now, is probably the world's most expensive funnel. So we're trying different finishes. My friend Rusty, this one's really cool. See, this is a matte versus a shiny. See the difference here? Pretty cool. So that's the matte finish. And there's the regular shiny anodized finished. These are aluminum funnels that the principle here is it snaps in. All right, oops, got some soap on there. So now the question is, because the hole is not super big, how does the Adams soap go in? So let's see how this works. So we want 150 milliliters. Let's just kind of fill the funnel up here. Since Adams soap is super thick, let's just fill up the top and see how it seeps through. Obviously any other, oh yeah, that's gonna work out pretty well. So look, you just fill it up and then let the product, I don't want to tilt it too much, put my hand here, it's on my face. I like that idea. I can just fill up the funnel, walk away. See, Adams soap doesn't really go through much because it's so thick. And you can see the viscosity of this is a much thicker, heftier soap. And so going through any kind of funnel or any kind of hole is problematic. But my guess is, I need to talk to Rusty about this, but I bet you this is about 150 milliliters of volume. So just fill the funnel up to the top, and then by the time you go piddle around, yeah, look, it's about 150 milliliters. That's perfect. So yeah, go fill it right to the top. You could set it up to where you just kind of put it in slowly like this. But I like that idea of fill the funnel up to the top. I'm gonna leave the funnel in here. I also got my cap. And so now he's trying different anodizations, different anodized finishes. So we're trying some different things to kind of see how it looks and how it works. But again, being aluminum, I'd expect that it will get beat up over time. But you know, we're trying things out. So there's 150 milliliters of soap. Let's go fill it up. Anyway, something interesting. So then I pop the sucker off. I'm gonna leave it on. I'm gonna use this to put the water in it. And we'll see how this goes. So let's go outside and do that. But first, let's put some soap on our sponge. This is a Griot's thing or spout thingy. I kind of like it. It's okay. All right, let's go outside and get set up. All right, so the wheels are super clean since I just put them on like last week. So let's see how this works. Stick our funnel. Just kind of clean up our funnel. I wonder how this does for filling. Does it slow us down? Because I don't think we would do this. we wouldn't be doing that. What I'll probably do is after filling, just take the funnel, throw it in the wash bucket, and then just clean it out after every wash. The Civic's small, so I don't need to fill this thing all the way up. I tried Kyle's method for a couple of washes in putting the soap in second. I don't know. It's easier, it's more accurate to put the soap in first. And I could just do this, especially with my cap. Shake it up, make sure I mix it up, and just keep working through figuring out what makes sense, you know. Does this improve the process, or is it tedious? What do we need and what do we not need? Okay, so we're ready to foam the car. Again, normally I would fill up the wash bucket after I'm done with the wheels. But again, the wheels I'm just gonna do cleaning like I clean the rest of the car. So I'm gonna fill up my wash bucket here at the same time, since this will be a quick wash. And you guys are really gonna be yelling at me, the washing a clean car people are gonna get real angry, because this Civic never looks dirty. This blue, I've forgotten how great this blue color is, Electron Blue Pearl. It doesn't matter how dirty it is, it always looks clean. Especially being coated. The darn thing just looks clean all the time. It's great. But it needs a good wash. I don't think I've washed it since I coated it. I think I've only done waterless washes. Let's rinse it off. And I've gone on this wheel testing process. You know, everybody's telling me you need to use this website or that fit site, or we've been using all that stuff, but it's just not, you have to just get them and try them. And so these are 15 by 8s. There's a little, it just depends on what day I wake up. It's a little pokey. You know, it's a little bit outside of flush with the fender. Now, we'll see when we get the car lowered more how it looks. But I'm really not in love with any of the wheels. So I'm probably gonna have to get some more. We'll see how the spoon wheels do. You know, again, I don't really love black on this color car. I like black on a white car or a gray car. But I think I would rather have, definitely would rather have some sort of gunmetal finish. But the thing you have to remember with these cars is that you can't just buy what you want. You have to buy what's available. Gosh, what an enjoyable process cleaning this thing, because I don't have to do the wheels other than just swipe them off afterward. But it being coated, the windows are treated, all the trim is good. All that work makes it so worth it. Oh man, got a lot of things on my mind. I don't even know what to talk about. So many different things going on. But the Civic is coming together. You know, I've got a lot of work to do on the wheels and suspension and figuring that all out, and then, you know, getting alignment done and all that. Is going to be quite a bit of a process in getting that set up the way I want it to be. So I've got a lot of work to do there. But the paint is good. I'm sending it to Sound in Motion in 2 weeks. God, I gotta call Reliable to get that booked. So it's going up to Sound in Motion to get the stereo done. So what we're doing is, or what they're doing, I'm gonna send a G7X camera for them to capture it, and then I'll put the video together. I'm not going up there, but I'm going to send the camera so they can capture little clips to capture the process. And then when the car comes back, hopefully I'll have the Motons by then. But the stereo that we're doing is going to be Mosconi has this insane 5-channel amplifier. And then we're going to do the Mosconi, was it 6 to 8? I think that's what it's called. Dang it, every time I do that, I lean up against the car. But Moscone processor, Sony RS9 or RX9, I can't ever remember the darn model number. So Sony ES head unit, the Moscone processor into the Moscone 5-channel amp. It's like 600 into the sub, 300 to the fronts or something crazy like that. Then we're doing a Dynaudio 7-inch and the tweeter and the kick panel. They're gonna make some custom kick panels. And then the ESO Tar 4-inch woofer in the door. Sound and Motion does like a, they create their own little package, their own little kit for 3-way. So we'll use the crossovers for the separates, the front separates, and then Derek will dyno, or RTA, not dyno, RTA tune the woofer in separately active into the blend into the separates, blend the separates together, I guess. Then we're doing 2 Illusion Audio. See, remember I had Illusion Audio subwoofers and the Dynaudio tweeters in my car back in the year 2000. So there's still the speakers. I'm cheating a little bit with the modern Sony head unit and the modern amplifier, but the principles are still the same. But that'll be the stereo. It's gonna cost, I shouldn't tell you this, but it's gonna cost about $17,000 plus shipping to ship the car up there to do the stereo. It's gonna be freaking awesome. So we're doing that. I need to get a radar detector. I'm just gonna get a unit in R7 for this. That's what'll go in the car here. And then once it gets back, hopefully John should have the engine soon. I paid for the motor. So again, we're doing a B18 JDM Type R motor and transmission, fully rebuilt. So we're pulling the B16 out, and we'll put it on like an engine stand. Then maybe in between the engine and I think in between the engine install and the stereo install will probably be the suspension install. So I'll do that, and then that's when I'll figure out the wheels. And so I've got some tires. I bought some Falcon 215 45/16s to see if that works on the spoon wheels. So we'll see about that. And then I'll make a decision, because the 225 45s don't fit, so those aren't going to fit on the car without serious modification. The other thing I've got to do, I didn't make a video of this because people would have lost their freaking minds, but we did roll the rear fenders, did like a 3/4 roll, and I did a relief cut here in the rear. And so where the relief cut was, you shouldn't do a relief cut. So where the relief cut was in the middle, the metal's pulling in. So Michael worked on it a little bit, Michael Good from the Dent Company, but I'm gonna have to send it down to him, and he's gonna really dial in the metal, the roll, bond the area that I jacked up from the relief cut. I don't think we're gonna need any paint. The good news is that with the fender roll, we didn't have any bubbling. But if I wanna fit some decent wheels, we really don't have a choice. It's funny though, because people either say, this car is garbage junk. Well, some people. Why are you wasting money? I could have bought 10 Civics for $13,000 or whatever number they made up. And then there's the people that are like, how could you damage such a gem? So anyway, the fender roll didn't go so well, so we'll have to get it fixed. But you wouldn't even be able to tell. I can tell. This side turned out great. Question is, did we roll it enough to even matter? Probably not. So, got some tweaking to do to get that up to date, up to speed. But no worries, I'll get it there. So when it goes down to Tampa, it'll stop at Billy's shop. So Michael and those guys can fix that, and then from there, I'll have John come get it and then do the engine swap. So that's the plan. One of the big epiphanies for me has been just send it places. We can still make a good video, but I don't need to be there for that for like 5 days while they're doing that. Just send a camera, or in the case of LHT, you know, John has a camera, he'll shoot it, and then just provide us with the stuff, the video. So this will just be a little quick wheel wipe down. Just take the combo here and just do this real fast. I mean, they've been on the car for like maybe 20 miles. So we also have the brakes, hubs. So all the major stuff on the car is coming. You know, the headlights are perfect. I'm really pumped about how that turned out. Got the city lights all dialed in. So my guess is we'll probably be doing the giveaway on this around October, something like that. And of course, I did try to get that 5,000 mile car just for the absurdity of it. It would have been kind of fun to do a dual giveaway, but the guy that paid 50 grand for it, I was tapped out at 47, which was still too much. 47,750 was my bid, last bid, and then I bowed out at 50K. It would have been fun to get it. I probably would have had it about now. But whatever, we tried. So this is like my quick wash technique where the wheels don't really need cleaned. Doing a quick little cleanup on it. I'm really interested to see if I get, you know, I ordered the Fujitsubo exhaust, the RM01A. I just don't think, I don't know that they're going to be able to, Vivid's going to be able to get it done. But when we do a test pipe on this, it might be okay. I just like a little bit more. Yeah, I could do a spoon exhaust. You know, it's so funny when everybody's like, you need to get this or get that, get Mugen, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you can't just get what you want. They don't make this stuff anymore. It's really hard to get. I just got my customs invoice for my seats and the spoon stuff that I bought. I had to pay $1,800 in shipping and $1,700 in import duties. So it's kind of hit or miss on when you get hit with a tax or not. So just understand, playing this game is not as simple as you think, that you just buy whatever wheels or whatever exhaust or whatever suspension you want. It's not that simple. I mean, this car's 20 years old, so a lot of the stuff just doesn't exist anymore. That's just a quick little wheel cleanup. I'm going to hit the rotors with some hides in a minute after I rinse. Shoot, this is so easy to clean. I'm going to do a good job drying it, but so easy to clean, I should do the RS too. Yeah, I'm pleased with how the Civic is coming out. Again, I just sitting here looking on camera, I don't love how the car looks. It's not my favorite. These just don't look great on wheels. Not as great as I remember. I really need some 16s, 16 by 7 plus 35. Gunmetal Volks is what I really want. Man, what an enjoyable process to wash a car that's relatively clean, but needs to be washed, dirty enough it needs to be washed. Wheels are coated, all the surfaces are protected. makes it awesome. I got some PS Super Silicone wiper blades. Still waiting on the darn Angel Wax Clarity that I ordered 3 months ago to arrive. I'm gonna do some hides. This is a 1.2 bottle, not a 1.3 bottle, so it's not perfect. The 1.3 bottles are probably a month and a half out, and we're gonna start going in pretty deep on them. So Bryce has a really great label figured out for these. Now we just have to figure out what material to put on it. And then the harder bottle is the the kind of oblong looking one. So for those of you who are Civic people that are new, this is called Hide Serum Rust Stopper. I have it in the store. It does a decent job of helping with rust, on your rotors. This is an Ego 650 with a prototype. You can't buy this, it's a prototype. All right, that's a double dry. Thing is like 99% dry. Man, what a beautiful day. It's not even really that hot. It's in like probably the high 80s. For us, Central Florida, that's not very hot. Gosh, I feel like I keep inviting my friends over for dinner, and I didn't make enough of whatever delicious dinner I've made for everybody, and so I'm eating the scraps. Like this is a 1.1 bottle with a different tip on it. Like I don't have all the good stuff because I keep giving it away, so selling it all to the people, to my friends, and then I don't have any for myself. I need to stop doing that. I think this is the first real wash I've done since I've coated it. I think I've done one. I think this is the first actual like full-on wash I've done though. Not sure. It's all blending together on me. So yeah, we got a lot of work to do on the Civic, but at least I have some products, I have some things. Like I have the wheels, I have the tires, and now I'm kind of playing and test fitting, and at least gives me an idea of what I'm gonna need. Somebody gave me a hard time on the video saying, well, what are you test fitting for if you don't even have the suspension yet? I said, well, I don't want to have this car forever, and I'd like to do the giveaway while the car has some following, and so I want to get the wheels figured out at least, or at least somewhat figured out, so that way if I need to buy some other tires and wheels and stuff, I can get moving on that. I know that doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but there aren't a lot of people that are living my life, this life of buying a Civic and spending a lot of money on it. I mean, I think I'm well over 100 grand now into this thing. But you have to remember, this will return a lot more than that for me. And new audience, new customers, new engagement. But the key requisite for this whole thing for me is that I have to want to do this. Like I have to enjoy this. Like this is something I dreamt of doing when I was 20 years old. Of buying 5, 6, 7 sets of wheels and figuring it out. Instead, you buy wheels and just deal with it if it wasn't right. I don't have to do that on this car because I'll generate such a significant return from all the stuff I just mentioned. Plus then doing the giveaway will raise enough capital, raise enough cash to offset the cost. Because I won't be able to sell this car because it just, it'd be it's going to be too much money into it. No one's going to pay for what all this crap costs, all the time and energy and effort, and in fact, it probably devalues the car a little bit. So I know most of you watching this understand. It's just that some people aren't. it's kind of a hard concept to grasp for like a regular dude. Because despite what you want to believe, I'm not really a regular dude anymore. I'm kind of a business, and you know, like I'm like an entity now, because you know, Obsessed Garage has become a brand. And in many ways, that's not a good thing, but what it affords me the ability to do is to chase dream projects like this from me, you know. So you take the good with the bad. The worst part for me is I have a hard time shutting it off. So remember, by the way, I'm spraying bead maker on the surface here. I forget that many of you guys are new and have probably never watched me do this, but I'm spraying P&S bead maker, a liberal amount on the surface. And then I wouldn't call it working it in, but I'm having to wipe a bunch, largely because, you know, it's 65% humidity here right now. But I'll use probably 5 towels, maybe 6 of these towels to do the remainder of the drying. Again, most of the drying was done with a leaf blower. But now I'm adding a nice top layer, a sacrificial layer of product to the surface of the glass and the paint to, one, help maintain, and then 2, this bead maker. The reason why I like this product, there are better silicon dioxide based products from a longevity and water beading and all of that stuff perspective. But for this application, what I'm looking for is I want that kind of wax-like depth. And so this product gives that to me. So it gives me some depth and gloss, if you will, that I may not otherwise have from, like, you know, doing something like CarPro Elixir or CarPro ECH2O or G-Technic C2V3 or some more Geon Cure, some more, I guess they're not really traditional, but some more stout silicon dioxide based spray-on topper or sealant. I just don't feel the need for those products. They're a lot harder to work with, but I don't really need that durability, and I found that over time a lot of them tend to create a buildup, especially if you're using a lot of things like wet coat or Hydro 2. I just don't, again, my coating is sufficient enough for me. I'm not very hard on my cars. You know, I wash them often. Actually, the last few years, having so many cars and then making so many videos, I've been a lot less, I've done a lot less upkeep to my protection layer than I would like, you know, because I've got too many frying pans, or too many whatever, frying pans in the fire, or whatever you say. Got too many things going on, too many cooks in the kitchen. Whatever your favorite analogy is there. Man, this car looks good though. You know, that's the main reason for buying this thing. Again, by far the most common comment is, why are you ruining such a pristine example of a car? You know, to me, this is okay. It's not a 5,000 mile variant. It's in really great condition, but I just don't want, like, even like the seal around this. Like, I don't want old crap. I don't want a bunch of garbage. I don't want to have to repaint the car. Then it costs twice as much. I wanted a really nice example, as if I was buying the car back in 2000. I want a really super duper nice, super duper clean car that I can then focus on putting things like seats in it and wheels on it and brakes and all the little cool things that we all love to dream about and shop for and play with, and creating spreadsheets of what products am I going to try to do, and I mean, that to me is the fun. I don't want to be trying to track down some janky window seal so that I can get rid of the brittle, broken version that's been neglected for 15 years and had 7 owners. I wanted this. This is how I do it. I take an amazing example of a car, make it better, because it wasn't perfect. I mean, I had to paint correct it and had to take off some janky stuff, some goofy parts that were on it. So I had to go through the process of getting it set up the way I want. So you can see the rotor's still rust over a little bit, but Hides does help make it so that it doesn't get so bad. Like the rears have hardly any rust on them at all now. I find that when I'm drying the car, there's quite a bit of redundancy, like I just hit a little bit of the window. So now I gotta go hit the bottom of the window again, even though I did the window. So I'm just prepared for that. A little bit of redundancy. Yeah, so the fenders are gonna have to get fixed, just the rear fender. My friend Tony used the rolling machine, came up from Orlando and helped me do it. Just for his sanity, I mean, you guys would have been flipping out when you see what has to be done to roll a fender. People would have been roasting us. So if it was me, if it was me doing the rolling, I would absolutely put it up. But just to save him from the pain of having all of the internet come down on him, I just decided not to put that video up. That video was destroyed. Because the end result is going to be fine. But the end result, not everybody's going to have access to the fix that I have with what we're going to do to get all of this super clean. We trim this piece here and then roll 3/4 rolled so that, because the wheel is going to hit somewhere in this vicinity. And so in order to fit these wheels at the height that I'm going to go, I don't have a choice but to roll the rears a little bit. Again, right now it's on H&R springs. I can't adjust the height, but we're going to be doing a Moton 3-way suspension and all the hard race equipment, all the hard race frame braces and all that stuff. So I'm doing urethane bushings instead of solid bushings so that we don't destroy the ride. But I'm not super in love with how these wheels look. These are not the ones. They'll still work. Doing an 8-inch wide wheel, I don't think really adds anything. All it does is stretch the tire out, which I don't like. These wheels will definitely make the cut and going to the next to the giveaway owner. It'll be really interesting to see who wins this thing and how it goes. What do they do with it? Honestly, I don't really care what they do with it. When it goes to the next person, they can do what they want. You can sell it immediately. You can keep it for life. They can part it out. They can change how it was done. Right now, thus far, the 2 guys that won the 2 cars I've given away have both kept it. So they both really wanted it. So I got so lucky that the people that wanted it got it. I'm assuming if they'd gone up for sale that you guys would have found it and would have shared it with me. But I don't care, That's what I told both of them. I said, look, this is your car. It'll be easy to sell if you want. There's no pressure. You do what you want. It's not going to hurt my feelings one way or the other. Once I decided this car was being given away, it's dead to me. So, don't worry about me. These towels are so good. They get so soft, but just know in this drying portion, these towels aren't going to last forever. We're gonna beat them up with this bead maker, and eventually they'll become hydrophobic. You just have to throw them away. After I'd say about a year's worth of use, depending on how much you wash and how many times you use them. It's a disposable. Towels are a disposable item. Kind of like tires, like quick disconnects. They don't last forever. I gotta call Matt at ICB. He said he had a rear lip for me. That would be sick. Like a brand new OE lip. I just need to have it painted. But you know, I'm always saying, like, on camera, you can cheat it. Well, the gloss and clarity and like detail and how good this car looks on camera is legitimately how good it looks in person. It's just really, really good. That's why I just decided to coat it. I wanted to lock in that goodness. So yeah, my GT4 is, I guess, in process, being built soon. So I guess I'm gonna have a GT4 real soon here. It's sad that I'm, this won't make sense to many of you, but I can't really drive. So I got all these cars, and I can drive like in like a 2-mile radius before I have like a panic attack and have to pull over on the side of the road. This freaking curse of being me. It's not all it's cracked up to be. You know, obsessive compulsive disorder is real. So I think I'm gonna go back on some Luvox again for a little while. I meet with my psychiatrist here shortly. The good news is I don't have any panics like in real life. It's only when I'm driving, so it's isolated to that. And what I'm fearing is that I'm going to pass out while driving. So imagine that. You have a history of passing out, not in driving, but going to the doctor or whatever. And so I start thinking about my mortality when I'm driving down the road, and then I start to get that well up of adrenaline. It makes me feel like I'm gonna pass out behind the wheel. So I got all these cars, I can't frickin' go anywhere. It's beyond explanation of how frustrating that is. Like, it is unexplainable. When I love just going for a drive, man, and I keep trying. Every night I try to go out and drive a little bit, go a little further, and it's ridiculous. But whatever. Worst case scenario, I'll have all these fancy cars, and I'll build myself a little closed circuit. If I get rich and famous someday, I'll have my own little closed circuit, and I'll just go rip on the cars, and then I'll just have a driver. I'll have somebody drive me around. I'm sure I'll have an application list really long for that job. God dang it. Oh boy. It's hard I don't talk about this a lot because it's hard to explain. Like, you just can't relate. You know, I'm not really afraid to talk about it or ashamed of it. It's just like, how do you explain to someone? It'd be like, imagine someone had a fear of getting on an elevator. Like, why would you have a fear of getting on an elevator? Just get on the elevator. What's the big deal? You can't fathom why it would matter. So, same thing with me. It's like, why can't I just get in the car and drive down the road? How can you possibly have that issue? Like, what? You can't imagine it. Well, imagine it. It's my freaking life. It sucks. So I bought an anti-gravity battery. My friend Ben from Gears and Gasoline had one in a video here recently. I'm like, ooh, that's a good idea. I need to get one. And then I bought one. I bought the wrong freaking one. So I had to order the second one, and I'm sending the other one back. It's a 51R, and I forget what I thought. I think I bought that's the size of the battery, or type of the battery, I should say. forget what I bought. I bought the wrong thing. I need to talk to John about doing a wire tuck. I have a Koyorad radiator, spoon radiator hose is coming. Obviously B18. What we're going to do is I'm going to buy an AEM air intake and then have John make a titanium pipe for it. Looks clean under here though. It's going to look even better when we get a B18 in there. All right, let's dress the tires here real quickly. Hit some bead maker on the wheels, dress the tires. And these were freshly coated with G-Technics CSL and XO. So let's just do this. I'm gonna be changing up my tire towel. I need something different. This is just one of the tester towels I had from Rag Company. This is one of my favorite ways to dress, is right after I've gotten the tires denibbed, gotten everything done, everything set up. You know, so the very first application after the initial application of tire dressing is always the best. Still a original sample. So just gonna slop this on. But it's been pretty well received. I mean, I guess it's hard to not be well received. If it's good, it's good. I mean, there's not much you can say about that. So, I don't know what else to tell people other than I've told the entire story. I shared exactly how much profitability there is in it. So, you know the whole deal. It's freaking legit. So I'm going to do that same process to all four. There's most of the rust. Didn't rust over, so the rust stopper kind of worked. We'll wrap this up. I love the angle, and just get a little lower in the rear. I love the way the rears look of these 15s. The front, I'm thinking if I give it a little more camber and get it a little bit lower, I think I'm really going to like it. But we'll see. So I don't really have time for this to sit and wait, but you'd probably be best served. Go in, grab some lunch, let this sit, come off and wipe the excess off. But I'm gonna do it quicker here now because I have to go. But the dressed tire looks something like that. Nice and clean. And that's a wrap. Civic's clean. All right, I'm gonna head over to the garage. I'm gonna shoot some pressure washing videos. I got the K1622TS. I got a new Sunjo they just sent me to test out, and we got an AR613 to do a quick test on. So I'm gonna go shoot that, and then I'll probably have a video up here real shortly on another wash and talk with the GT3. So anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. See you soon. As always, stay tuned for more crazy.